Hey there, in today's video, we are swatching the color black. I know, right? It's like, why swatch black? Well, I think you're gonna find there was a lot of variation in the different forms of black that you use, and it might help you have an idea about which black to grab the next time you need a dark color in your art. So I hope that you will pull all your blacks together like I did and swatch along with me as we discover some new color variations in the color black. So without further ado, let's get started.
I've gathered every black I could find. I've put it in this box. We're going to swatch them all just to get some ideas about the properties of the different colors of black. I'm gonna start with this, the golden bone black. And I'm actually gonna work just directly onto the page here. Oh, I probably didn't need to put quite so much, did I? Well, let's just see what happens. So maybe it's a big swatch. The transparency of this bone black, I had forgotten. Obviously, I knew that, but it's always a good reminder. So, okay, let's try the carbon black. Now, I know carbon black is not transparent. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit. And yeah, see the difference? Wow, yeah, this is like extremely dark. Let's do the Speedball India ink. Again in black. I'm going to just dip right in and drag that down with my brush. And then we're gonna use the carbon black in the Liquitex ink. And let's see what that does. I guess I'll run it this way and then we'll get a new page. Okay. And also this page I did not gesso. It is mixed media paper. So this is also obviously very liquid. It is transparent, so I'm gonna grab another art journal and we'll keep going. These paints are the heavy body. I'm gonna start with the bone black again because I know that one is a little bit more transparent. And I'm gonna try just to put, it's hard just to put a little bit. That's more than I wanted. So when I scrape down, you can see the transparency. Let's try the ivory black in the Liquitex, but that's okay. So this is the ivory black. And it is slightly transparent too. Let's do the Mars black next. I'm gonna really try just to do a tiny dollop and see what happens with that. Okay, that is very opaque. Okay, the Mars black is opaque. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, actually, it feels even darker and smoother, and maybe the tube is newer than the Liquitex. Wow, it's actually, feels really good when you paint with it. Okay, and now the carbon black. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's very opaque too. Obviously you can find all that information on the tube, but like this one is all the way to opaque, so it's not as transparent or at all unless you watered it down or added a thinning medium. So that's just it's a good way to, you should use the information on your tube. But if you're like me and you don't always, or you just kind of wanted to look at what it actually looks like, the difference, then I would suggest taking all your blacks and bringing them out and then swatching them. So now we're gonna move on to the more dry mediums. Okay, I have my dry mediums here, and I do have some Posca pens, which I do not use as often, and I'm not really sure why. This one looks like it's getting old, but that's kind of the look of that. That is a smaller nib size, and I have a larger nib size, which I think it's supposed to look more like that. So these go over anything, and people swear by them, and I probably should reach for them more often. I also have this Faber-Castell Pitt pen, which this one looks like maybe it's a little old too. They will move a little bit, not on this because there's no gesso. Let me grab some water and see if I think if you catch it really, it will move around a little bit. That didn't. So, and I do not believe that the Posca pens, that did move around. Okay. So I'm wrong. I think if you catch them soon enough, you can, gelatos, Faber-Castell gelatos, and I really don't use these either. But I thought, since we're trying all the blacks, and these are water soluble, I think maybe they react similar to a watercolor. I don't know, because I don't use watercolors that much, but I do like some water soluble things like charcoal. So that is kind of cool. So that's another option. Okay, and I love these Stabilo Woodies. And these are also water soluble. And they were kind of like a colored pencil, like a water soluble colored pencil, but yeah, isn't that cool? And look how rich and dark that is. Although I do like this lighter color. It reminds me of the bone black of the golden. So, okay, then I have the Neo Color 2, which I also really like. I really like these. See, this is good. I'm doing this because it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget about different media that you don't use very often. Wow. This is a Prismacolor black. I don't know, colored pencils. I don't usually keep colored pencils either. I'm assuming this is not water soluble, but the minute I say that, yeah, it's not. You know, kind of smushed a little bit, but not really. And then here's one of my favorites. This is the Stabilo All Pencil, and it is water soluble. So I think there's something I like about a water soluble medium, even though I don't use watercolors for the most part. So you'd think I would. Okay, and I found these, which I don't think they've ever been used. These are charcoal pencils, you know, in a pencil, so they're not messy. And this is medium. I don't really like the way that feels. It feels really hard, and I think I like a soft charcoal. So let's see what happens. It moves around a little bit, but not as much. I mean, it's more like those markers. Okay, and then I have one hard. That wasn't even hard. That was medium. Okay, yeah. I don't like the feel of this, but you know, you got to try, right? So let's see what happens here. Yeah, it moves a little bit, and then here is the soft, extra soft. And I think I like this one because I can already tell, and it will move around a little bit. It just felt better using that. Sometimes I pick up art supplies either on sale or clearance, and I want to try them, or I've had them in the past. So then they stick around. I have them in little containers, but then I don't really use them. So this is a good example of coming out and trying some different things. This is the charcoal pencil that I use the most. It is just one of those peel and sketch, easy, you know, to use. So I do like those. Okay, and that is water soluble, although, you know, obviously it would move better on a gessoed paper. Okay, this is actually just an oil pastel. So this won't move, but wow, I love oil pastels, and I do not use them enough. They're just creamy and rich, and they just, I do love them. So, and I have a whole bin of them, and I don't know why I don't use them as often. So, okay, this is a willow charcoal, which is usually very light. I don't know my charcoals other than I just know some I like. It's a little bit lighter in color, and that should move around a little bit. The charcoal people, they know their charcoals, and they know what each and every charcoal does and how it works and everything. So this one is, I don't know, this seems really hard. Not sure it's a charcoal, but I kind of do like that color. And see how that one moves around. Okay, it moves just fine. It's a little harder. And then I have this little tiny piece of a Durant extra large. It used to be a big block, and it's my favorite one, and I have a whole set of them, and it's down to this last little piece. So I need to get it. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's just amazing. So let's add some water to it. And yeah, it just does amazing things. And I love these. It just can add marks really fast. I don't know, I just love it ever. And this is a black soft pastel. So, and wow, luscious, luscious, luscious. I do love pastels, and I go through phases where I use them a lot, and then I don't use them. And so I'm not really sure what that's about, but I do really love them. And I don't use them in the traditional soft pastel way. I use them in my own way. So, okay, that was just an overview on all the different blacks that you can use in your art. So take all your blacks and swatch them out and see what you come up with. And then you're gonna really have a better sense of which black you wanna reach for when you are making art. So I hope that this is helpful and that you go out and swatch your blacks, and I will see you next time.